Welcome to the Apartment Building Investing Podcast. I am your host, Michael Blank. So glad that you're here today. In this episode, I'm going to give you kind of behind-the-scenes look at how we've done it in our company to raise millions seemingly effortlessly within just a matter of days. And I've kind of systemized this because that's kind of why I'm very analytical. And I'm going to talk about the 3 pillars of platform building. And is that something that you should consider? And what can it do for you? And that's what we're going to cover on this episode. Let's do this. All right, so the first question I'm going to tackle is, should you even consider building a platform? Okay, not everybody should, but let me tell you if you should. Number one, if you have raised some amount of money, $500,000, maybe even $1 million, and you've done really well for yourself, but you're really struggling at attracting more investors. In other words, you're asking yourself, how do I 10x my capital raise? How do I go from 500 to 5 million? Because I just met with 100 investors, and there's no way I'm going to meet with 1,000 investors to do that kind of thing. How do I do it? If you're asking that question, then you should strongly consider an online thought leadership platform. Now, maybe you haven't done a deal yet, but you're like, Michael, I want to scale this business right from the start. I don't want to wait a year or two until I raise some money. I want to go right full bore because I want to build this as a business and I want to scale it. Then this might also be for you as well. And it could be for anything, really. We're not talking specifically about creating a platform for multifamily syndications. It's really all of real estate. So if you are listening to this and you want to raise money for a portfolio of turnkey or even single turnkey, single family houses, or wholesaling or holding, if you're doing the BRRRR method, or frankly, anything. If you have a private equity fund and you want to attract more capital, anything that's required to raise a capital, this is going to be really for you. And because we're from the syndication world, we focus our platform building on raising capital, but platform building is very broad. It can be used for anything, for building an audience that to do a variety of things, to sell courses. We certainly sell courses, we sell mentoring, we sell events, we sell books. All those things require a platform. And what we're going to talk about here in today's show, since we're kind of in the syndication world, is how do you use a platform and build a platform to raise capital, to 10x your capital raise, to really scale your business. So if you're thinking, I want to scale my real estate investing capital raise capacity, a platform is going to be for you. Now, what will a platform help me to achieve? That's the second question we're gonna delve into right now. And the platform, really, the core platform, is designed to automatically attract investors you've never met before and to turn them into raving fans who want to invest with you. Okay, there's a large degree of automations and technology behind the scenes that attracts them to you and welcomes them, educates them, and builds trust. Now, once you have that core platform built, your focus becomes on promoting your platform to more potential investors. And because of the automations, you're able to accommodate many more investors without creating extra work. Now, as you attract more investors, you can do more deals and raise more money, which means that you create more revenue in the form of fees and acquisition fees and equity. And then number 4, as you do that, as you create more revenue, you're able to invest more in the platform to attract even more investors to you. And this creates a virtuous cycle, not a vicious cycle, a virtuous cycle that allows you to continue to scale your syndication business and raise tens of millions of dollars per year easily, simply by continuing to invest time and effort into your platform. And best of all, here's what I love about this, because we always think about what's in it for ourselves, but what you're doing, and this is what I want you to think about in a platform, because with platform becomes great responsibility because you're gaining influence over a large group of people. What you're doing as you're building a platform is you're getting a message out. Dare say you're getting a mission out. The message and mission you're getting out is you're actually serving investors who have been shackled by the stock market for so many years, and in 2008 and recently saw their net worth, cut in half, and they're like, man, is there anything else out there? Okay? And you can help them with that. You can help them with their problems, because the investor has 3 problems. The investor can't make predictable financial plans for their family because of the up and down and the occasional recession in the stock market, and this really irritates them, frustrates them to no end. You can help them by providing a more consistent investment vehicle. Number 2, they don't have cash flow. They want the same thing you do. They want to quit their jobs. They want to quit their high stress law firm, their medical practice. They want the same thing you do. So they want cash flow from their investment. You can help them with that. Okay. And number 3, they pay too many taxes. You, through the beauty of depreciation, can help them with that as well. So you actually have a mission. which is financial freedom for your passive investors. Therefore, you are serving your audience as well. So now we're to the next question. Okay, Michael, this is great. You got me hooked. I'm in. But what the heck is this platform thing? What is this thing? Okay, let me tell you what it's not. A platform is not a website. We have people come to us all the time like, I'm really interested in your platform builder incubator program, but I already have I already have a website, so I don't think I need it. Okay, guys, a platform is not a website. A website is a tiny element of the platform. I mean, you can put up a really good-looking website consisting of one page, and as a syndicator, that's all you need, okay? So it is not a website. It's much more than that. In a broadest sense, okay? In a broadest sense, a platform automates the process of attracting the right audience and developing raving fans that do business with you, allowing you to invest and grow your business, okay? So it's really attract, develop, and scale are the three elements, and that brings me to the three pillars of platform building, which is attracting the right audience, developing them into raving fans, and scaling your business. So let's talk about each one of those pillars in turn. You have to understand all three pillars to understand a fully functioning, powerful platform. And if you're missing one or more of those legs, then it's not going to perform well for you at all. So let's talk about pillar number one. Pillar number one is attracting the right audience. Inside attracting the right audience, you have to do two steps. One is you have to identify what's called your ideal avatar. This avatar, it's not a bunch of blue people, like in the movie. It's a marketing term describing a particular person. In this particular instance, we're talking about your ideal avatar, or in our world of capital raising, your ideal investor. And you want to identify, well, who is that ideal investor? Now, in the beginning, you might not know. You're like, well, shoot, anyone who's willing to invest in me is ideal to me. Okay, that's fine. But as people who have raised money before, you will find that you gravitate and attract a certain kind of person, and subsequently you repel another kind of person. Let me give you some examples, okay? So I tend to attract people who want financial freedom. If you want to be a millionaire, there's other people out there in the world who are more bling, and those people are going to be more attracted to them, and people who want financial freedom and a lifestyle are going to be more attracted to me. For example, if you're a doctor and you want to get into the capital raising business, well, you might attract doctors because, of course, they have money, and you're one. So you have a story in common. Same thing, for example, we had one of the platform builder participants was a former NFL player, and he, of course, through his backstory, attracted professional athletes. So he started attracting professional athletes, and he probably won't attract, busy executives. His message is different. So getting the avatar right is the critical first step, because everything you do from here on out is affected by how you choose your avatar. And if you play your cards right, then you will, again, attract certain people and repel other people, and that's good. That's exactly what you want. Now, step two under attracting the right audience is, well, you have to capture leads. Well, what does that mean? Okay, capture leads means you want to build your email list. Now, I already hear you saying, Michael, email list, are you out of your picking mind? It's a dying medium. No, it's not. Where did you read that? Did you look at that? Email has been around for so long, and despite of what you hear, the open rates are still upwards of 30%. On our investor list, they're up by 50%. So email is still the most reliable way to deliver content. Now, is it the only way? No. Okay, there's other ways to deliver content, but email is super powerful. For example, email. Once you have an email list, you can upload those emails into Facebook and create a custom audience. Don't know what that is? Don't worry about it. All I'm saying is you need an email to do that, and it's super powerful. Also, you control your email. You control that. You do not control the search algorithm for Google or the Facebook algorithm that hides your posts from your friends. Okay, you don't control those things, and when they change overnight, boom, things go away, and that's happened repeatedly over the last several years. Emails you control. You can have them in a spreadsheet. You can take them from one email provider to another. So in other words, you want email because it's the most reliable way to communicate that you also control. Okay, trust me in this. You need emails. Now the question is, how do you do this? How in the world do you capture people's email addresses? And the way you do it is by providing something of value for free. Okay, you're going to give something away for free. Something that's of high value to your ideal avatar, your ideal investor, something that they really would be interested in. For example, maybe a retirement calculator. How much money would I have to invest in syndications until I'm financially free? That's kind of cool, right? If your avatar is retirees, their biggest fear is that they'll run out of money in retirement. Well, you might have a free download that says, here's the insider secret how to never run out of money in your retirement. right? So if your ideal investor is a retiree, they would be very interested in finding out the answer, right? And for that, they would probably be able to part with their email address. So that's how you do it. Is you build what's called a lead magnet. Okay, term number 2, lead magnet, is the marketing term for this freebie that you're going to have available on your website. So if you do that, people can go to your website and they see this free download. It's super cool, and now they can download it, and now you have their email address. Now, the next step is pillar number 2. So pillar number is attracting the right audience. So you've built your brand, your avatar, you're attracting, you're saying the right thing, and you are capturing leads as people come to your website. So you're attracting the right investor. But what happens if you do all that and then they never hear from you again? Well, that's kind of the end of the relationship. They have their free download, and that's the end of it. Does you no good at all. Platform dead. Okay? So you need to have the second pillar, which is to develop raving fans. And again, there's 2 ways to do that. There's serving and leading them, serve and lead, and the second step is to promote. Let's talk about serving and leading them first. Serving and leading, what is that? How can you serve and lead your audience, your investors? You serve them with valuable and free content, such as blog articles, YouTube videos, and podcast episodes. And you do that because you're providing value to them. You're educating them about an asset class they may not be 100% comfortable with, because they have stocks and mutual funds and 401k is the only thing they've ever done. So you are providing value to them by educating them about this strange asset class called syndications. And that's why you are serving them. And in so doing, because you're adding value, you're also earning their trust. That's kind of an indirect byproduct of you serving them as you earn their trust. And when you do that, you can lead them to take some kind of action that benefits them, and hopefully you as well. In this particular case, the action that you're going to lead them to is to consider investing with you. But you can only do that once you've actually built up trust through them as well. So again, serving is content. So you serve through content. That equals trust. And that earns your right to lead them to take some kind of action, in this case, investing. Okay, that's step number 1, is serve and lead through content. Step number 2 is to promote. Once you're capturing and collecting email addresses on your website and you're serving people with great content, it is time to promote your message to find more ideal avatars, more ideal investors. And that's when you start thinking about getting on other people's podcasts. That's when you start thinking about starting your own podcast, or starting a mead book, or starting getting active on LinkedIn. Here's what kills me. You get on someone's podcast, okay, which is not an easy thing to do, and you get on there, and the guest asks you how people connect with you, and you say, oh, my website is xyztmanagementconsulting.com, and no one cares, okay, because I already heard your story. There's no reason to go to your website anymore. But if I say, hey, my website is howtoneverrunoutofmoney.com, and I have this freebie, and your podcast actually serves retirees, my gosh, people listening to that are going to go flocking to your website. And that's how you can really accelerate the lead generation. But it's only once you have the core platform built. Okay, we're down in, like, at this point, pillar 2, step 2. Okay, that's now we're in promote. So you have to have your core platform built first before you go out and promote yourself. That's how you then, because of the automations in place, you just want to put as many leads into your platform as possible. So that's step number 2 under promote. That's when you start actually going out and promoting yourself more. Now, pillar number 3 is equally important, because without pillar 3, you can't scale your business. And that's exactly what pillar 3 is. It's called scale your business. And big surprise, there's 2 steps under that as well. One is you need to make a compelling offer that generates revenue. So if you're selling courses, you better come up with a course that your audience wants, is willing to pay for. If you're putting up live events or virtual conferences, you better put one in place that people want to pay for. So in other words, you need to generate revenue in some way. Otherwise, you can't scale your platform. Now, in our environment, the product, the offer, is already taken care of, because we have the best investment vehicle on the planet that generates predictable income, predictable returns, and you pay less taxes. So we already have a very compelling offer. So that one is already taken. Step 1 is already taken care of. And so the challenge becomes to raise more and more capital, do more and more deals to generate more revenue for the business. And then a critical step 2 is to reinvest a portion of your revenue into the platform. Because here's the truth. a platform is fed by content. Now, the content creator is going to be you. You are the message. You have something to say to the massive about passively investing and how that will change your life. You are the creator of that content, and you should not outsource that. However, the actual production and distribution of the content should be outsourced, and that costs money. What is production? Production means to make a particular piece of content look good. Okay, if it's a blog post, well, it needs a pretty picture, maybe some bullets, a nice catchy headline. Okay, and if it's a video, it's got to be edited. Probably should have a thumbnail and maybe a swoosh or something. Okay, so it's got to look good. That's kind of the production of content. Now, you can get into that yourself, but it's very time-consuming and very technical, and it's best outsourced. Now, you need revenue that you can use to outsource the production of content. Same thing with distribution. What does that mean? Distribution means getting the content out. Okay, we talked about email as a primary medium. Someone's got to schedule an email and send that out to the list. There's also social media. There's Facebook. There's Instagram. There's Twitter. Who's going to do that? There's LinkedIn. Who's going to do that as well? So there's ways that the content needs to get out to notify your audience via different channels that now new content is available. Again, very time-consuming, and it can be outsourced. And for that, you need revenue that you can put in that. So those are the 4 pillars, really, and there you have them. Now, in the case of multifamily syndications, the business case is actually pretty long. And let me just, before I summarize the 3 pillars again, the business case for syndication is actually very strong, because you're like, well, what do you mean revenue? So we have, through our own deals and other peers, we have calculated a business plan. And it goes like this. For every 32 people that download your lead magnet, one ends up investing an average of $70,000. And that's if your minimum investment is $50,000, your average investment over time will be right around $70,000. If your minimum investment is higher, it'll be higher than that. For every 32 that download your lead magnet, it generates $70,000 in investor. Now, each new investor conservatively generates about $2,100 in acquisition fees, and that's if you only own about 25% of the GP because you have partners, which is so common. A single investor generates $2,100 in acquisition fees for you personally. Now, if you have other partners in there, it generates more than that, and so you have more to play with. Therefore, adding just 10 new investors to your database produces $21,000 in revenue for you. That's just 10 investors. So forget 10 investors. According to our math, you need 320 leads. Okay, now you can get 320 leads fairly easily by hopping on a bunch of podcasts and talking about your free lead magnet. That alone will generate. You throw some social media in there, maybe boost a few ads that drives people to your lead magnet. 320 is not a big thing to achieve, and yet that activity alone would result in $700,000 raised and $21,000 in acquisition fees for you. Further, of course, we looked at, well, how much would you have to reinvest to continue building up your platform so it generates greater and greater capital for the business? And the magic number is 25%. So investing 25% of your ongoing acquisition fees will allow you to 10x your capital raise capacity in 18 to 24 months. Super powerful stuff. So that is the business case for investing in your platform if you're a capital raiser. It's going to be different if you're selling live events or books, obviously. But since we're in the syndication business, I thought that you might find that useful. All right, let's wrap things up right now. So a platform for raising capital automates the process of attracting the right investors, developing into raving fans who want to invest with you so that you can scale your syndication business. And in so doing, attracting more capital, doing more deals, and raising millions seemingly effortlessly in just a matter of days. At the heart of that are the 3 pillars of platform building, which is to attract the right audience, developing them into raving fans, and then reinvesting to scale your business. Those are the 3 pillars of platform building. If you're interested in building a platform, we started to offer the Platform Builder Incubator, which is a 90-day workshop in which we build the entire platform for you. And it's actually a year-long program where we teach people how to build their platforms. We build it for them, and then how they use their platform. So essentially, we give you the car, and then we show you how to drive it around. Essentially, that's what we do. And if you're interested in that, check us out at platformbuilders.com. These are live workshops that I and my marketing team teach, actually. So we open that up about 3 times a year. So if you go to platformbuilders.com, there might be a wait list or it might be open. It really depends. Now, if you're listening to this in late 2020, we actually have a live webinar coming up Wednesday, October 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern. So mark that down, Wednesday, October 28th at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have a live webinar on platform building, and I'm going to go deep. I'm going to show you some of the technology, some of the how to produce content consistently. I'm going to give you a behind-the-scenes look of how we do it as well. And you'll be able to ask some questions around platform building. So if you're interested in that, in scaling your syndication business, that might be of interest to you. All right, hope you guys have found that useful about platform building. It's something I'm really excited about, as you can tell. I'm going to start also more content. In fact, we're going to probably start a separate podcast on platform building. It's such an exciting thing. It's a little bit different because you're dealing a lot with marketing, and not everyone listening and watching is ready to focus on marketing. But a lot of you are, and a lot of you are very interested in that. So we're going to start talking a lot about online thought leadership platform in a separate podcast and separate video. So yeah, the Michael is going to be producing extra content. So I hope you guys find that valuable. Catch you guys next episode. Hey, and before you leave, make sure you subscribe to my channel below. We put out videos every single week, and you don't want to miss it. Also, if you haven't done so already, grab my free ebook here, okay? It's a secret to raising money to buy your first apartment building deal. It's a good one, so grab that. And hey, check out another video.